Hello Beauty News family, welcome to Beauty News. This is the 9th of August edition. We're going to be talking about new release beauty products and updates of things that have popped up in the last week or so.
Yep.
Before we get into it, we do want to welcome back our sponsor for this week's episode, Himalaya. This week's episode of Beauty News is brought to you by Himalaya Podcast app. Whether you're a podcaster or a fan, Himalaya is designed with you in mind and has a ton of cool features like curated, shareable playlists and collections made just for you, along with personalized recommendations to help with content discovery. And the best part is, it's super easy to use. It's quickly become our favorite listening app and we're sure it'll be yours too. So do yourself a favor, download Himalaya today and be sure to follow Beauty News once you're there.
All right, so when we do mention Himalaya, we like to give a suggestion of a podcast that we like to listen to. And one that I like to listen to is called Without Fail. So it's done by Gimlet. And the creator of Gimlet, like the person that founded Gimlet, pretty much sits down with successful people in different fields and just talks about their successes and failures and their journey. Cool. And it's very interesting. People that worked at like early days of Facebook, people that started up Groupon, you know, actors, bunch of different people. It's very interesting. So we'll leave that link down below.
And don't forget to let us know what your current favourite podcast is.
We're always taking suggestions.
Yes. And thank you again to Himalaya for supporting Beauty News.
Woo! All right. If you can hear any stuff going on with Hayley's voice, she is still sick.
I'm still very sick.
And we're going to be taking multiple coughing breaks. So, not me. I'll sip on my tea.
Yeah. Coughing breaks, not coffee breaks.
Sadly.
But we've got that as well.
Yeah. So if there is a lot of edits and stuff, just be
forgive
patient.
us. I'm still pretty sick. All right. We're going to get into updates. And we do have one that we talked about it last week. There was a little bit of drama behind it. We're going to get into that as well. But it's the Anastasia Beverly Hills Jackie Aina palette. Mm-hmm. Now, we had, there was leaked images and Jackie also posted a photo to her Instagram account, I believe it was, and it was blurred out. And we have seen images of that palette now. It is confirmed and it is releasing on the 6th.
Yeah, so
am I correct?
I think they had it up for pre-sale as well.
Right.
So that sold out pretty quickly, but it is officially releasing on the Anastasia Beverly Hills websites on the 6th of August. Cool. And then US retailers, so like Sephora, for example, 15th of August, and international retailers on the 16th of August.
Awesome.
So this is an interesting palette, and it contains 14 all-new shades. So even though some of these do look quite similar, Anastasia Beverly Hills often, no matter if they collab with people or not, they put a dark chocolate brown, a sort of caramel brown. They put the same sort of shades no matter what palette it is.
Yeah.
So there are some similar shades in here, but every shade in here is brand new. From the marketing images that we've seen, the main marketing images is Jackie wearing a green wig and green eyeshadow. Now, I have seen a few people comment that they're a little bit disappointed that there's not much green in here, but what she would have been using in that is the sponsored eyeshadow shade is like a green-brown shifting shade, but I did see a lot of people comment that they sort of expected it to be a lot more green based on the marketing images, and they were a little bit disappointed.
Right.
Which I totally feel it. But all in all, this is a really nice little sort of capsule palette. It's got some warms, it's got some cools, it's got mattes, it's got shimmers, and this is designed or curated by someone with deeper skin. So, of course, this is going to be beautiful on deeper skin tones. I would argue that this would be good on all skin tones. You can see the swatches on the screen where it's on the fair skin, the deeper skin, and the medium skin, and they pop and look gorgeous on all skin tones.
Something that this is lacking, which I actually really appreciate, is sort of the lighter tones that Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes always bloody contain.
Yes.
I've got 8 of their palettes and they all contain some frosty, light, almost white
shimmer shade. Exactly,
if not multiple, and really light sort of nude shade transition colours.
Yeah, that's true.
This is definitely different in that regard.
So yeah, I can definitely see some tweaks where she has taken out shades that won't work on deep skin, which I think is really, really smart. But that won't restrict you if you've got medium skin or lighter skin, because all the shades are really, really pretty. All right, so that is the update on the palette. Now, skip this if you aren't interested, because we're going to have a little bit of a clarification from last week and address a few issues. So use the timestamps in the description box if you have no interest in this. It's a good move. I recommend it.
Yeah.
So last week when we saw this, mind you, we did see only, at the time of filming, we only saw 2 sneak peek images.
Yep.
One was a really pixelated little image, and one was sort of like a
Photo
taken, from a phone in, you know, not the best lighting situation. So what we said, essentially in a nutshell, was that we personally aren't a fan of Jackie.
Yeah.
So it's not a draw card for us.
Yeah.
And that, to me, and I still stand by this 100%, if you look at the palette, the first 4 shades, if you look at that as a little quad, looks like modern Renaissance.
Yeah.
If you look at the second quad, it looks like Norvina mixed with like the purple from the Riviera palette. If you look at the last 4 shades, it looks very much like Sultry. So for me, I have all of this.
Yeah.
So I don't want to spend what will be 81 Australian dollars in store on this palette because I can recreate it using my existing collection. Yeah. So that's pretty much what we said. But but what I think was a bit confusing and what we should have clarified more was that the reason why we said we weren't a fan of Jackie is because if we were a big fan of Jackie, we probably would have bought this just to support her.
And
but we don't subscribe.
Can I just clarify? When we say we're not a fan of Jackie, by fan we mean we don't watch her. We don't follow her avidly. Like, we're not, you know, watching everything she puts out. And I think people took it as like, we don't like Jackie. Yeah. And it's not about that. It's just that we don't actively watch her content.
Yeah, I saw a few people say, I can't believe you hate Jackie.
We don't hate Jackie
at all.
We don't even know her.
No, we've got no problems with Jackie.
How can we hate her?
I'm so indifferent about Jackie. I don't follow Manny MUA. I don't follow Jeffree Star. I don't follow Jacqueline Hill, Laura Lee, James Charles. Probably the only big YouTubers that I follow in the beauty field is probably Tati and Nikki Tutorials.
Yes,
so for me, like, this is not about but people were making out that we were trying to incite that people boycott this.
What?
Completely wrong. Just because we're not spending our $81 each because we find this to be redundant and the influencer isn't the carrot, like, baiting us to buy it, like similar to the Alyssa Edwards palette.
And can I just point out, I only bought the Alyssa Edwards palette because everyone else was going in on an order.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm not going to miss out. Of course I'm going to cash in on the cheaper shipping.
And to be fair, if I saw the Jackie Aina palette, like, looking at the swatches, I feel like the swatches are a lot more inspiring than the images that we saw last week.
Absolutely.
And if I saw this was on sale for, like,
I would buy it.
I'd probably buy it. So,
I would buy it.
So I'm definitely not trying to boycott it. It was just that at that stage, from what we saw, if you look at this in isolation, it's a really pretty palette. If you take it away and you look at it in the collection from Anastasia Beverly Hills, which I pretty much own the whole entire thing, it's very, very, very repetitive.
Yeah.
So that's what was the issue with me. And like with the Alyssa Edwards palette, I wasn't inspired by that colour story either, but I bought it because I really like Alyssa Edwards.
There you go.
But I haven't even used that palette.
I just want to point out, I have 8 palettes from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I have 3 sitting in my drawers that are untouched, some of which I've had since buying them. What was the Black Friday?
Yeah.
Black Friday, I bought them last year, and I haven't even touched them.
Yeah. So us verbalizing our sort of purchasing process had nothing to do with inciting hatred or boycotting the collab or making any, like, big statement about the collab other than we don't need it because it's very repetitive.
Exactly.
So the fact that we saw a lot of backlash
and people calling us racist.
Yeah, people were strongly
over a palette.
Yeah, people were strongly insinuating that the reason why we weren't supporting this was because she's a woman of colour and we're racist. And that is really, really fucking hurtful and really, really ridiculous. And I just want to say, though, I do apologise if our clarification and our thought process wasn't as clear as we could have been. We did want to save the discussion about this palette for when we saw official images because we were just touching on it as a sneak peek.
Yeah.
So we knew that we were going to only talk about it briefly and discuss it more in depth in this episode. So we didn't actually go into a lot of discussion about it. And maybe skimming across the top of it made people read too much into it. But people were twisting our words, exaggerating our words, and putting words in our mouths that weren't even there. And I encourage you to go back with what we've just said now, watch the content, and you'll realize, oh, they were just saying that they didn't want to buy the goddamn palette. And when we did address that, it was a sort of, it was a weird collaboration because people are very polarized with Jackie. That's a fact. When we posted this in our group and on Instagram, I would say that reading through the comments, maybe 1 in 4 people were excited for this. 1 in 4 people were bagging it out, saying they hate Jackie, and maybe the rest of it were just like
indifferent.
It's either repetitive or I don't really care about Jackie. I'm not really inspired to buy it. So this is a polarizing collaboration. It just has to do with the fact that it's a boring goddamn palette, and some people don't like Jackie and some people love Jackie.
Exactly.
And neither are wrong. It's all fine.
No one is wrong in the situation.
No.
The wrong thing here is reading too far into things and insinuating that people are racist based on an eyeshadow palette.
Yeah, we don't take into account the colour of someone's skin when we're talking about makeup because we talk about the product. If we're talking about a influencer, we might be talking about, their audience, but we don't bring it back to skin colour. We never do. And a few people in the comments were like, you're so ignorant, you got to admit that you're ignorant. And I want to say, yeah, luckily we are really fucking ignorant. Like, I am aware of the Black history of the US. I've looked into it a lot. We're educated. They taught
it to me in primary school.
Yeah, we're educated about it, and I do watch a lot of documentaries and TV shows, and I know about it here. I'm like aware of it, but I don't feel it here. I've never been to the US. I don't feel the divide. I look at people and I see them as being people. So when people try to assume that because I treat everyone the same when it comes to makeup releases, that I'm racist, it's really, really insulting.
What are we supposed to do? Not talk about makeup releases that are involving someone of colour?
Yeah. That was another thing.
Yeah,
people were saying, like, this is not for you. You shouldn't give your opinion on it. So you're really saying that the answer to this problem is to divide people further, and that there's black makeup and there's white makeup, and you shouldn't talk about black makeup because it's not for you. Like, I don't see that we're perpetuating the problem here. That attitude is perpetuating a massive problem. And all we're trying to do is report on makeup releases and talk about the product. Like, the amount of shit we copped was ridiculous and really, really offensive. And also, we saw a lot of people saying, it's beauty news. We don't need your opinions. I'm like, hun, you must be new here because we've been doing this for 3.5 years. And every single time we do this, it is giving our opinions on releases. And mind you, opinions are just opinions.
Yeah.
They're not facts. They can change with everyone, and that is, every opinion is valid. We're just expressing ours. It does not mean you also have to share ours.
No.
It is what it is.
Your opinion can be different. Your viewpoint can be different. You can like different things. You can love something that we're not interested in. It's fine.
Yeah.
If we're, screaming the praises of something and you're like, I can't stand the side of that thing.
That's totally fine.
That's okay. You're allowed to be different. You're allowed to like different things. And we are allowed to be uninspired by another Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palette.
Yeah. And we encourage people to share their opinions in the comments, but please don't try to make it personal or attack other people or attack ourselves or try to project racism onto situations where race doesn't even come into it. So
calling people names, telling people to kill themselves, it's not okay.
No.
It's really disgusting. Yeah. And if you are leaving comments like that, you need to take a long, hard look at yourself because it is revolting behaviour.
Yeah. And if you don't like our opinions or you don't like the fact that we're white, I highly suggest unsubscribe from the channel and go instead to our Instagram account where we share the news without our opinions and without our faces.
If you don't enjoy it, you don't have to watch it. An update from Fenty. The Pro Filt'r hydrating line has been announced and we have a release date and pricing. So it'll be launching on the 15th of August on Fenty Beauty and at all of their retailers. We have the hydrating foundation. This is $35 US and it'll be releasing in 50 shades. We also have the hydrating primer for $32 US. That's just in one shade. And then we have the foundation brush. This will be $36 US. Didn't they already have one of them?
Yeah, probably. I don't know if they have the Kabuki Buff foundation brush, though. It might be slightly different.
Might be a different one.
Yeah, I did want to mention that this is in those squeezy pump tubes that we saw the other week. Some people aren't liking this compared to the glass tubes. I think the reason why they probably did this, not only to really distinguish the different foundations, but also this is great for travel. I think a lot of people were
travel. That's fair.
Giving the feedback that a heavy glass bottle, if you drop it, it can smash. It's not the best for traveling. And this sort of format really helps you get down to the last bit because you can squeeze it out. So, it's not going to be for everyone, but it is an interesting
It would have been cool if they had put like the hydrating, because they've got the matte primer and the matte foundation in the frosty bottle. It would have been cool if they put the hydrating primer and the hydrating foundation in just a clear glass bottle.
Yeah, or even a glossy, shiny bottle. Yeah, it would have been cool.
But anyway, they didn't.
All right, last week we talked about 2 new Kaleidos palettes, so Kaleidos makeup. They've got the Futurism 4 and 5 coming. This is releasing on the 13th of August, which we did mention last week, but we have official photos. So they're going to be $24 US each. We've got the VR Neon, which, like we said last week, it contains 2 new shades, or 2 shades of a new formula that is sort of a hybrid between duochrome and glitter. And then there's 4 neon mattes. So you have red, orange, yellow, and green. Then we have the Electro-Turquoise, so this is the Futurism 5, and it's got 2 of those hybrid formulas as well, in a turquoise and a silver. And then you have a brown matte, a dark teal matte, a bright orange matte, and like a bright sort of turquoise aqua kind of matte as well. So we've seen them. Photos are on the screen. They look fun. Neon is coming back in a big way.
Oh, mate.
It's massive.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, I find this turquoise one quite interesting. Almost looks like raver, camo.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
It's interesting.
As soon as you said raver, I thought back to like my early 20s in like the back alleys of Melbourne CBD at stupid hours doing...
Would you have worn this?
Look, I didn't really wear much makeup, to be fair. It was mostly just a little bit of foundation and some mascara because you would sweat it off.
So maybe ravers wouldn't wear this. Or maybe they'd wear it setting it with hairspray.
Yes, I will be fair and say I did see a lot of ravers wearing some amazing makeup to like match their outfits, and I think these palettes would do it well.
Yeah, I feel like the marketing images as well, like the model images, they're really channeling some like Lilu vibes.
Yes, I was thinking that as well.
I'm getting some like
multipass.
Yeah, exactly right.
Chicken.
Yeah, exactly right. KKW Fragrance. Do you remember back in April we talked about the collaboration with KKW Fragrance and Kylie? Yeah. And they're making the lip perfumes.
We see it.
I thought that was already released.
I
forgot all about it.
I forgot about it.
Yeah,
I forgot about it.
I thought, okay, that must have been released and it was done with, because there was a nude one, a pink one, and a red one. Yeah. Now, Kim
it's not
Kardashian
until August
is saying that it's finally coming 23rd of August.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I was like, oh my God.
Lips.
Yeah. And a lot of people have an issue with the finger, but
I
have an issue that she's probably got a bad camel toe in that outfit, but...
I will say, when I saw that photo, the only thing I could look at was her finger, but not because she was giving us the bird. It was because it's a very bony finger. And I was like, I have those types of fingers too.
But I think it's accentuated by the nail.
It is. She's got naturally long fingers. It's just, look, it's very in your face.
It is. All right, update on the MAC Fix Plus with SPF. We've been told that it likely won't be coming to Australia and New Zealand and other places that it hasn't rolled out to because it didn't meet customers' expectations. So the feedback that I have seen on this was that the SPF would leave little white dots on people's face.
Yeah.
So I think because of that, they might have halted the release.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means that it will be pulled from the shelves of existing places.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Or if it just means that it's not coming elsewhere. But
Did it even launch anywhere?
yeah, it launched in the US.
Okay.
It does look like it's been taken off the Ulta website as well. So, yeah, they may be there. Back to the drawing board.
So we have a little update from MAC. This is going back years and years. It looks like they're releasing some extra dimension eyeshadows.
Yeah.
And one of them is Stylishly Merry. Apparently these are available in Australia.
Yeah, I saw them online.
And there are some other shades there. So...
But it looks like it's back for good. So if you missed out on Stylishly Merry and you missed out on...
Giant Stylishly Merry.
Yeah. What was that one called? Snow Flushed?
Yeah.
If you missed out on that last holiday, or was it the holiday before?
Last holiday, yeah.
Then you can pick it up permanently.
There you go. All right, let's get into some new news. This is a sneak peek from Alexis Stone. It's a thing, probably a palette of some description.
Coming 13th of September.
Yes.
We'll keep you updated. All right, we've seen a new concealer coming from Benefit. So it's going to be in their Boi-ing concealer range, which is their concealer range. And it looks to be the Cakeless concealer. It's in a little tube. So previously they've only had pot concealers, whereas this is a tube concealer with presumably a doe foot applicator. And it looks like it's a pencil.
Yeah.
It's kind of cute.
It's going to launch later in August, $22. I don't hate it.
I don't hate it either. Bobbi Brown are releasing Luxe Shine Intense lipsticks for fall. And they're described as a fresh new formula that is custom tailored to leave the lips perfectly smooth and deeply hydrated. Contains hyaluronic acid, vitamin E, and soothing herbal extracts. So it's coming in 14 shades. You can see the shades on the screen, but if you're listening on the podcast, I'll run through some of them. You've got like a sort of deep wine berry, a couple of reds, a couple of pinks, a couple of oranges, corals, and what, 5 nudes?
Yeah.
So there we go, 14
and the
shades.
nudes range from like, cool brown, pink nudes.
Yeah. There's a beautiful greige one called Bare Truth and a really beautiful warm brown nude called Bold Honey. I dig
The
them.
packaging, I can't stand it. Why is it so long?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm going to assume that this is a normal size lipstick, but it's a thin lipstick.
Maybe.
So I reckon this
that's
is
what's happening.
I think it's the same length, but it's
See,
skinny.
I've got Bobbi Brown's like
Other lipsticks with the same packaging.
I've got them like in my head, and when I see this, I'm just like,
oh wait,
you're gonna be long and bulky. Yeah,
like this one,
and I'm picturing it like
super long.
Like this is the length of the bottom with the lipstick up here. I'm like, that's too much.
Yeah. No, I reckon it's this size, but probably thinner.
Yeah, probably. All right, we have the Clarins Fall 2019 collection. This is a Chicka Chicka Bam Bam collection.
Very strange for Clarins, I'm going to say.
It is a bit strange.
I sometimes, like Clarins, okay, I reckon if you're sort of young and you've got parents sort of helping guide you into skincare, you might tap into some Clarins.
Some Clarins.
If you're a young professional and you go, I want to go and check out Clarins.
Yeah.
But also I feel like if you're older...
Clarins.
I feel like Clarins is a kind of sensible range.
So having a collection called Chicka Chicka Bam Bam, I'm like...
How's your nana going to love that now?
Oh, mate, she's going to love it.
Yeah.
All right, so there are some Jolly blushes. These are $32 and they come in 8 shades. And it looks like 2 of them might be exclusives to the Clarins website. So there's a pale pink, like a bright pink. You've got a fig rosy shade. There's a bright plum. There's a nude rose with gold highlights, a matte coral, a peach, and an iridescent brown with gold highlights.
Yeah, I see, you said there was 8?
Yeah.
I see 5 pink, 2 coral, and 1
pretty much
brown.
That's pretty much what's happening there. Then we have the Natural Lip Perfectors. These are $26. These have already been in their collection or in their repertoire for a very long time, but I believe these are new shades, and they're nourishing lip glosses that have like a nice tint. They say intense color and 3D shine, but for me, I think they're just a really nice tint. 4 shades. You've got Intense Rosebud, Intense Maple, Intense Garnet, and Intense Smoky Rose. Actually, maybe what they've done is created more pigmented versions of them. And the last thing is the Wonder Perfect Mascara 4D. This is $28. It'll be available in 2 shades, black and brown. And a lot of it, I believe, all of it is available now at Clarins and other Clarins retailers. Then we have the Dior Fall 2009 collection.
19.
No, 2009. We're going back.
It was a good time.
It was a good time. All right, fine. It's 2019. Now, this all seems to be limited edition, and it is out now. We have the Ultra Rouge lipsticks in 4 shades. There's an orange, a purple, a beige, and a burgundy. $37 each. We have the Dior Addict Lacquer Plump. That's available in 2 shades. There's a brown and a purple. $37 each. We have the Graphist Lipstick Pencil. $31, available in 4 shades, red, burgundy, pink, and beige. Then we have the eyeshadow palettes. So I believe these are quints. They're £5 palettes.
Yeah, they look cool. They look like eyes.
They're really cool. So these are $63 each. They come in 2 color combinations. You've got Glorify, which is a harmony of purples and greys illuminated by a sky blue at the center, and then Intensify, which is an intense palette of raw shades of grey, brown, burgundy, electrified by explosive yellow at the center.
This looks like something that if you were playing like Tomb Raider, you'd see this on like a tomb,
on the wall,
and you'd have to like take out the gem that's the eye.
Yes.
It's cool. I like the design.
Then we have the Liquid Mono eyeshadows. These come in 4 shades. They're $30 each. So they're a liquid eyeshadow. Look, they all look pretty brown.
Yeah, brown and
brown.
taupe.
Yeah, that's pretty much what
taupe
we've got
nude,
going
taupe
on.
brown, taupe purple, taupe.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it says here as well. Then we have the Pro Liner Waterproof. These are $33 each. Comes in 2 shades. These are super fun.
Yeah.
There's Fearless Green and a bright orange. They're called Matte Lime and Matte Orange.
Yeah, it's like a bright lime green and like a tangerine orange. But it seems so out of place with this collection.
It kind of does a little bit, doesn't it? It looks like they're going nude
and
pop
browns.
a colour.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Then we have 2 blushes in Confined and Independent. So they're a plum and a brown shade. $44 each. There is the Dior Skin Mineral Nude Matte, which is a matte perfecting powder. They're $48 each. And there are 4 natural beige shades and 2 universal shades in 05 Translucent and Brightening 06 Banana. Then we have the nail polishes. There are 4 shades. They're $28 each. There is a blue grey, an intense taupe, a strong plum, and a chartreuse green.
I like the names. They've got 9 a.m., 12 a.m., 4 p.m.
and rush hour.
Yeah. I think that's kind of fun. And that, once again, is the colour story of the collection.
Yeah.
Like grey, beige,
maybe
brown, and a pop of like green.
Yeah. I actually really like this collection. I think it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I think it's different, and I like the imagery, the marketing imagery. The lady with the sort of brown lips and the teal eyeshadow and like the pop of green and then like the greige nails looks really cool. All right, Ella Cosmetics, we've seen a couple of things being added to their line. We don't have any more information, but we'll update you when we do know more. It looks like it's like a cake or a solid brush cleaner.
Yeah.
And also a matte, a brush cleaning matte. So it's looks like it's in a shape of a cloud.
It does.
Clouds everywhere.
Clouds!
The last 3 episodes we've talked about clouds.
We have clouds.
Clouds.
That's what's going to be popular in 2020.
Yes,
clouds. From M Cosmetics. Oh my god. I read this wrong. We've got the True Gloss Sweet Essentials. I thought it said Sweat Essentials.
Oh, glossy sweat.
Glossy Sweat. So these are lip glosses. Looks like they're going to be available in 4 shades. We've got Mochi Mochi, which is a milky nude. Faded Clementine, which is a soft tangerine. Magenta Magic, which is an electric raspberry. And Tender Rose, which is cool pink. And they are available now.
Awesome.
Okay, we have another big brand launch. This is Givenchy Fall 2019. They're calling it Sepia Essence of Shadows Makeup Collection. Now there are eye palettes. We've got 2 of them. They're $62 each. There's one called Essence of Grey and one called Essence of Brown, but it doesn't look brown.
And when they're talking about essence, they're not fucking around.
Oh, mate, they are not fucking around at all.
For all the people that have been asking for Colourpop, like a grey palette, which there's been quite a few, Givenchy have your back. Unfortunately, they sort of all look shimmery, except for maybe the black.
I think the black is the only matte,
Yeah, but they are literally gradiating shades of grey, like black to white, but then gradiating through grey. Yep. And then they've got the same thing with their brown palette, but it's purple with a few more mattes or satins.
I don't know why they called it brown.
These kind of look sad. When I look back at the last collection we just looked, the Dior collection, that one was actually sort of fresh. This one is stale.
I don't know what they're doing with this. It's very strange. Then we have the Rouge Interdit. Why does that sound so strange? These are the vinyl lipsticks, $34, 2 shades. We've got Shadow Purple, which is a dark purple with pink mother of pearl, and Shadow Pink is a soft beige pink. Then we have the Rouge lipstick. This is $40, and the shade is Trendy Plum.
All right, we've got a new collection from Kim Kardashian or KKW Beauty. This is a 90s inspired matte smoke and matte cocoa collection. It's launching on the 16th of August, so if you really want some mattes in your life, you've got some time to save up, at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at KKW Beauty. So the collection includes the matte smoke palette, which is a 10-pan eyeshadow palette. It's $45 and it's very cool toned. So it's got some cool toned nudes, including like, you know, your cream color, your sort of peachy color, transition colors. But then it goes to cool toned browns, grays, black, and a navy. So it's very, very smoky. This is, if you're after a smoky eye and you want mattes, this is actually the perfect sort of smoky eye palette. You need the browns and the grays to work really well together. So even though it's not for me, there's logic behind it. There's also the matte cocoa palette, same price, same design. It's just a warmer version. So yeah, it's just browns and sort of warmer peachy kind of colors. Then they're releasing 5 eyeliners. So 2 of them are in that warm toned sort of story. So the packaging does vary. The sort of cocoa collection have brown packaging. The smoke collection has black packaging. So the 2 eyeliners that are in the cocoa line, they're $12 each, and there's a brown and there's a nude. Then there's 3 matte eyeliners in the smoke sort of collection, $12 each. We've seen the black before. They released a black recently in a collection. So there's that one that's coming as a permanent, and also a navy and a white. Then we have lipsticks and lip liners. So the lip liners are $10 each, and the lipsticks are $18 each, and they have matching shades. So once again, 3 of them, they're all nudes, but 3 of them are slightly more cool toned, 3 of them are slightly more warm toned to go with the collections. And they're all inspired by 90s things. So for example, we've got 90s chic, 90s glam, 90s style, 90s icon, 90s runway, and 90s supermodel. So they're all the colors that are out. And of course, because it's KKW, you can buy it in collections. You can either buy the full collection for $295, which is a saving of $25, or you can buy the whole.
Shit. Hang on, my lung is offended. Oh my god, don't make me laugh.
Then we have the matte cocoa bundle. So this has all the brown products. So 3 lipsticks. So the 3 lipsticks, the 3 matching lip liners, the warm eyeshadow palette, and the brown and nude eyeliner. That is $145, which is a saving of $10. Then
Wow.
Yeah, it is a saving.
It's a lot.
And then we've got the matte smoke bundle, which is the same, but because there's 3 eyeliners, it's $10 extra.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so it's $155, saving $10. You can buy the whole lipstick bundle for $98, or you can buy the whole eyeliner bundle for $42 as well.
Bargain.
So, you bargain, hun. So this is not interesting makeup. I have to say, she must have some marketing geniuses though, because she's just introduced a basic brown matte eyeshadow palette, a basic smoky matte eyeshadow palette, basic as fuck eyeliners.
Right after she did her, what was that collection that we dubbed the bridal collection?
Oh yeah,
that was a nude collection.
That was
as
a
well.
nude collection, and then she had the fire one.
That's right, which is just a warm
tone
nude
one. Yeah. So these are like some of the most basic products you can add to a collection. But the marketing geniuses behind KKW twisted it that it's like 90s inspired. And I think this is going to sell because 90s sort of makeup is coming back.
Yeah.
And I do think it's really interesting though. There's a photo of her wearing the cool tone ones and the warm tone ones. So the warm tone one, she looks like herself, but kind of vibe in the 90s, which is cool. And then the cool tone one, that doesn't look like her, does it?
Doesn't, does it?
No, it looks like a completely different person.
Yeah.
So it really shows you that different tones on your eyes can really...
It really changes someone, yeah.
Yeah, so if you've been vibing these sort of smoky mattes, there's a palette for you, but... yeah, I think it's the marketing is more interesting than the products.
That's fair. There's also a sneak peek that KKW and Mario are doing a 2.0 collection.
Yeah.
I wonder if that'll be brown too.
Probs. Now we're going on to the sister, Kylie Jenner. It's her birthday coming up, or
just
it just has been.
Is Kendall bringing out a...
She's already brought out a teeth whitening range. Oh,
If
and
she
she's doing
brings-
a collaboration with Kylie as well.
If she brings out makeup, it's going to be Kim, Kylie, Kendall. No, Kendall, Kim, Kylie. That's the order that we'll talk about them in.
That's true.
Can you imagine?
And there's going to be Chloe. And what's the other one? I don't care.
Kill me.
Kill me. Kill me. Anyway, so this is her 22nd birthday collection. So she does like to do big collections in celebration of her birthday. Not the birthday of the brand. Oh, no.
No.
Her birthday. And this one possibly wins on one of the tackiest themes I've seen since Too Faced did the... What was that?
Oh, rich. Pretty rich.
Pretty Rich. And their Rich Lives Matter cake.
Yeah.
Fucking trash.
Yeah.
So this is also money inspired, which I feel like... I'm starting to feel like I'm really out of touch with the current generation of like teenagers and early 20s. I feel
like maybe I am too.
Because this seems so tacky, but I think it's like a cool thing to flash your money these days.
I think maybe it is.
Maybe it is. So maybe people will vibe with this. I don't get it.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't vibe with it. You're not getting my money.
That's
essentially
true.
what this is.
Can I say, though, there are a couple of cool packaging choices with this.
Yeah, there are.
So when you open... We'll run through the products first, and then I'll talk about it. Okay. So products are... There's a jelly highlighter, $22. There's a loose illuminating powder, $26. Pressed body glow, $28. This is essentially just a highlighter with a dollar sign in it, and it's a big highlighter. So you can use it on your face or your body. There's a face primer, $28. It's a first primer from her range. There's the Kyliner liquid liner pen, $18. Shimmer eye glaze, $20. You're So Money Baby palettes. This is an eyeshadow palette, $48. High gloss, $16. The Kylie Velvet Lip Kit, $27. So I think she's brought out the Kylie lip shade before, but this is a velvet version, I believe.
Right.
And it's her like signature colour. Yeah. Then there's the matte lipstick, $17 each. It comes in 3 shades, or you can buy it in a trio, which comes in a tin that looks like a money roll.
Yeah.
That's $45. Then you can buy the Jelly Kylighters in a bundle, so there must be 3 shades. We'll run through the products again. I gathered all this the other day. I totally forgot. The bundle of 3 is $58, or you can buy the Kylie's Favorites bundle, which has a selection of some of her favorite products for $150, or the full collection for $300. So let's run through some of the products individually. Eyeshadow palette is very pink and olive and green and gold.
And sparkly.
And sparkly and a bit of mattes.
Yeah.
So this, it's not super groundbreaking, but it sort of fits with girly money, money girliness. Yeah. So the shimmer eye glazes come in 2 shades. There's Dime, Peace, and Money Ain't Everything. So you've got like a bronze and then also what looks like a yellow, but it's more like a soft gold. The loose illuminating powder is sort of like a face powder with shimmer in it. So this is not like a loose highlighter that you put on your skin as a highlighter. It's like an all over powder that has little iridescent parts in it. So it's different to what she's brought out previously, but it's probably not going to be for everyone. Probably very similar to Too Faced brought out those shimmery ones in the Tutti Frutti collection.
That's right. And they're
shimmery.
literally just like a loose highlighter. I don't understand them.
The high gloss in the shade 1 in a Billion. So this is a lip gloss. It's like a pink with gold shimmer in it. The Pressed Body Glow is just, like we said, a big highlighter that's like a champagne gold that you can use on your body. Jouer did a similar thing recently. Where I think the packaging does get quite interesting, you can buy the matte lipsticks. So there's 3 new shades and they're in like little boxes that look like a folded up
note,
which is really cool. Well, not really cool, but design-wise it's pretty cool.
It's cute.
Yeah, there's the shade Money Mindset, which is like a pink nude. There's a shade Hustle Honey, which is more of your brownie mid-tone rosy nude. And then there's a brighter pink called Mama Boss. So you can buy them individually or in that roll.
Should have just called it Kris Jenner.
That's true. And the lid actually looks like it's rolled up money
as
well.
It actually, the packaging of that little lip trio, it's clever.
The design-wise, like even though the sort of theme of this is pretty tacky and on the nose, they've executed it surprisingly well. Yeah. And I have to sort of give them props for that. The last thing I thought was really cool about the packaging choice is with the lip kit, so the Kylie Velvet Lip Kit. When you open the top, it looks like there's a note in there. Yeah. I think it's kind of cool. And I think if you buy the whole pack as well, it comes with Kylie money.
Right.
So notes that are printed with Kylie.
Yeah.
I think, look, they've gone all out with the packaging.
Okay, here's my view on it. I wouldn't buy it because I'm not lining her pockets. I'm not overly interested in the products or anything like that. But I think if you're going to do a collection like that, you may as well go hard or go the fuck home. Because
you can't do subtle rubbing money in someone's face. You got to take it, almost make a joke out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that's what they've done. They're like, we do not give 2 steaming shits what people think about our money collection. We're doing it.
Yeah. But I don't want any of it.
I don't want any of it.
Not racist. Now, I'm sure there's people in the comments that can maybe clarify this a little bit, but when she did announce on Instagram stories this whole collection, she mentioned that stay tuned because there's going to be more information because all she wants for her birthday is to give back.
Right.
So I feel like what she may be doing is donating some of the proceeds to a particular cause. Okay. I can't find the information just yet, so maybe she hasn't announced it, or maybe I missed the Instagram stories over the weekend when I was living my life. Hopefully that was the case. Yeah. But I think having like the on-the-nose money collection and, clearly she's going to make a lot of money from it, I think she sounds like she's going to give some of it back.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Yeah. All right, Lana Lips have just launched 2 new lip balms. So we've got the original Lano Stick. Currently we've seen it on Ulta Beauty, so it's $16.95. So it's pretty much the squeezy tube lip balm, but in a
stick,
twist up stick. And then there's also the Lemonade Scrubber Balm Lip Sugar Balm, $16.95. So
eat it.
Yeah, so this is supposed to buff away dead skin cells. And then you can lick it off if you want to.
I love a good lip scrub that tastes delicious because I'm all like in the shower, I'm like, fucking dessert time. But whenever I read a description about a lip scrub and they're like, you can scrub off your dead flaky skin and then lick it off, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, it's what people do.
But that's what we do.
Yeah. Ugh. But I do want to say, though, that with lip balms and, like, Lana Lips is a very famous Australian lip balm company and skincare company. So it's good that they're putting it in a stick because their other products were mainly in tubes and not everyone likes a squeezy tube. So this is a little bit more easily accessible.
You know, with the squeezy ones, I don't apply it directly to my lips.
I don't apply it directly either.
No, I take it with my finger and then put it on. And then I'm like...
What do I do with this? These ones.
Yeah. All right, Laura Mercier. We have a tinted moisturizer. So this is the Natural Skin Perfector, and I believe this is out now.
Yeah, it's on lauramercier.com.
It's a broad spectrum SPF 30 sunscreen tinted moisturizer, which is great.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to offer hydration. Lots of hydration with skincare benefits and all
vitamin
that stuff.
Vitamin C, vitamin E.
Yeah, all of the good stuff. 20 shades. There we go.
Yeah, so the shades, looks like they've tried to make them quite evenly spread out throughout the different skin tones. So they have 5 deeper ones, 5 medium, 5 light,
and 5 fair,
I guess.
Yeah.
And they do have different undertones. Some on the skin look orange, some look brown, some look purple.
One of them looks literally like a golden shade, which is interesting.
And some look straight up grey or peach.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, like, this is the type of thing that, since it's a lower coverage product, one shade should cover a few different skin tones.
Like Laura Mercier have 2 models here, both of which have amazing skin, which I would literally kill a person for at this point. And you can see that there's really not that much of a difference between the before and after.
Yeah, it doesn't deposit a lot of colour.
Perfect skin.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, very helpful. Thanks. You're taking people that don't need foundation and putting a small amount on.
We should do that test on me.
Oh, yeah.
Lol.
Yeah, we can put that to the test.
Exactly.
Yeah, so 20 shades doesn't sound amazing. At least it's sort of evenly spread.
Yeah,
and
the coverage is so low that it probably
does very little.
Yeah, it might not be a bad range for... I don't even care. I don't buy this stuff because my skin's shit.
That's true. My skin is too shit for this light coverage stuff.
Exactly. I can't wear that.
There's been times where I've worn really light coverage stuff and I'll see friends and I'll be like, are you sick? And I'm like... No, I just tried to go light coverage today. Fuck you.
I hate that.
Fuck you all. So high coverage for me because I've got shit skin. Thank you. Thanks, world.
That's fair.
All right, Lethal Cosmetics are revealing new eyeshadow shades. So this is brand new news from today. So we'll probably update this when we've got the full reveal. But the first one that they're showing is a pastel periwinkle. So there you go. So they're quite well known for the make your own palettes. So you can, on their website, they've got a really good sort of feature where you can choose a palette and then fill it up with single eyeshadows, and they're just expanding on the shades.
Excellent. Lime Crime. We have the new Venus Vivid palette. This is not what I was expecting to see.
I know, but I think it also sort of suits Lime Crime as a brand, so...
I think it does too.
Yeah.
So I believe this is available now.
Yeah, it's available now on Ulta and Riley Rose for US $38. So it's a twist on ultra-modern vibrancy with the opaque performance of intensely bold shadow hues with the Venus Vivid Pressed Powder Palette. I think by the term pressed powder palette, they're implying that a lot of these aren't technically eye safe in the US. And I tried to explain this to someone the other day when they were really concerned about the Huda Neon palettes.
Right.
Pretty much, I wouldn't be so concerned The probably the worst thing you might get from a non-eye safe pigment is that you might get a little bit of staining.
Yeah.
But generally in the US, you need to put these labels on things for legal purposes. Similar to how in some states, do you know in cafes they have to give a cancer warning that coffee may cause cancer?
I think it's in California. But they put it on everything. Like, you know our Care of vitamins?
Yeah.
There's cancer warnings on that.
Yeah.
They also had, I was reading about it just the other day, and they had cancer warnings on, it was like an inanimate object that you wouldn't, like, it was like, it wasn't this, but it was something like this, like a parking meter. It had a cancer warning on it or something like that.
Me.
And I was just like, what's going on? Just like because of their laws in California, that's like what they do now. They put cancer warnings on everything.
So I wouldn't be too concerned about these not being eye safe because they would be tested for the eye area. It's just that for legal reasons they have to call it certain things. Especially vegan pigments, which these are vegan pigments. Some of them do stain. But the shades that we have here is Betty, which is a matte bright blue, Flutter, which is a bright purple metallic, Starburst, which is a bright pink orange matte, Luxe, which is a bright golden yellow foil, Limelight, which is a matte lime green, Happy Place, which is a yellow green shimmer, Super Bloom, which is a bright orange foil, Sassy, which is a bright pink matte. So there is a combo of mattes and shimmers. I'm really confused why they have two yellow shimmers.
I don't know.
Why didn't they turn Happy Place into a matte?
Why do they both need to be in there?
I'm
they
really
absolutely
confused.
do not.
Yeah.
Lunatic Cosmetics Labs
Yeah.
has a new palette. So to celebrate their 7th anniversary, they have released the Take My Heart palette. It contains 5 shades of eyeshadow. You've got White Noise, Hearts Go Splat, No X's, Dead Teddy, and Bloody Valentine. But what sets this apart
is
really the packaging.
It's pretty cool.
It looks like a heart.
Yeah.
But not a love heart.
Not a love heart. Like they've just ripped it out of your chest heart.
Yeah, like an actual heart. The one that's inside your body.
Yeah. And it's got like a mirror and then like blood drips. It's really cool. Some people are finding this absolutely disgusting, which I totally get.
That's fair.
But I think it's really rad. The thing that lets it down is the shades.
Yes.
I thought this was a perfect opportunity for your like vibrant red palette. I was hoping it was going to have like a neon red and a foiled red and a deep red and red. But instead it's got like white shimmer.
Yep.
Like light gold, nude.
Yeah. And so nude that it doesn't even look like eyeshadow. It looks like skin.
It looks like skin. Yeah. And there's like a sort of bronzier nude, and then there's a metallic red, which is probably the only interesting shade in here in my opinion.
Yeah.
But if they really leaned into that red, I think this would have been a killer.
I would have been all over this.
If such a killer palette.
If this was 5 or more shades of red, I would have been like,
a lot of people are pointing out as well that there's so much wasted space in here.
Yeah.
And I think, $31 US for 5 eyeshadows, I don't actually think that's that bad because indie eyeshadows are generally more expensive. But I do see that there is wasted space, and I just think the wasted opportunity is not going really crazy. Even if you wanted to do like, when it's like deoxygenated blood where it's almost like a purpley sort of red colour. They could have gone so ham into the blood inspiration.
There's different like shades of the blood that you can do. Like you can do the really dark
blood clot.
Yeah.
They call it a clot.
Yeah, they do.
Blood clot shade red.
And you could make that like a really, really dark matte red. You could have a more purple red.
Yeah.
You could have the really, really bright red, and you can even do that in 2 different finishes.
Yeah.
There's
fresh cut red. Yeah.
I feel like for a palette that only contains like 5 shades, they could have really smashed it with the reds.
Yeah.
And made it like the truest of true red palettes.
Yeah.
No pink.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
No orange.
No light red, which is pink.
Yeah, it's true.
We have a sneak peek from the MAC Holiday 2019 collection, which is just so great. This will probably be out in a few months, but we see two lipsticks, sorry. These are, I need these to go away. These are the lipsticks with the glitter on the outside and probably the glitter on the inside.
Yeah.
They have stars on them. Then we have sparkly packaging something. What do we reckon that's going to be?
I reckon it's going to be a loose highlighter.
Probably. And then we've got like a standard highlighter
with stars on it. Look, I'm kind of liking this star inspiration. I think a lot of people...
I like the star inspiration too.
I'm not a star fanatic, but I do know there are star fanatics out there, and they're going to go wild. I think it's
pretty enough.
Yeah. I think the design on the lipsticks are absolutely phenomenal. I haven't seen anything like it.
Neither have I.
It's sort of like got cutout areas where the stars...
stand the glitter
No, I can't either. So the stars are sort of raised and they look metallic, but then in the sort of background, they've put glitter.
Yeah.
So it looks really 3D and really, really effective. Probably the best lipstick design I've seen.
Yeah, I would agree.
But if this was just on the outside and the actual lipstick was a standard cream or a matte, I would buy the fuck out of these.
I will buy the whole collection.
But I know for a fact this is going to be those metallic lipsticks with the glitter particles, and I'm not interested. So that's going to be the letdown. Oh, we can also see a palette.
Oh, yeah.
With just white outer packaging.
I'm sure it's going to be a highlighting palette with stars.
That's true. All right, Makeup Revolution. We've only got one thing to talk about, I believe. I think.
My God.
Thank God. At least that's the highlight of this. Well, no, I'm not 100% sure. Damn it. Anyway, let's try.
We're going to put our blinkers on and pretend that it is the only thing.
Yes, for my sanity. So they're expanding on the Conceal and Define range with some hydration. So they're introducing the Conceal and Hydrate Concealer and Foundation. So they've been known for having a concealer that sort of is like a sad dupe for Shape Tape, but a lot more affordable dupe. Yeah. And that tends to dry down, not quite matte, but it's
dry.
It's drying.
Yeah, I used it the other day and I don't hate it. I do not believe it's like Shape Tape. I think they are very different. Formula-wise.
I think they give the same sort of... If you like what Shape Tape does, as in like it sets and it's thin and high coverage, this does the same thing, but it's not the same.
Not the same.
It's not the same. No.
I would... It's too dry for me, this one. Or the
Makeup Revolution one.
I would try this.
So it's a new formula, and it's 50 shades, which is great. It's infused with hyaluronic acid. It's got a hydrating formula, which probably refers to the point above. It's medium to full buildable coverage. It's radiant, natural finish, vegan and cruelty-free, and they've added a new pump applicator. I'm assuming that's to the foundation, not the concealer. I'm assuming. I'm not too sure. So the Conceal and Hydrate Supersize Concealer, which is 13 grams, is £7, €7.99 or $10 US. And the Conceal and Hydrate Foundation, which is 23 mils, small for a foundation, I'm a bit surprised, is £9, €9.99 or US $12. Launching on the 14th of August at Revolution Beauty, Superdrug and Ulta Beauty. So right now we don't have too many photos. We're just assuming what's going on. They've just showed one video, essentially. Yeah. But, if you were interested in that range, but they were too dry for you, then there's a hydrating version coming out, which is good. All right. Maybelline have collaborated with the artist Ashley Longshore. So this collaboration brings 6 fan favorite Superstay Matte Ink shades in limited edition packaging. So the packaging features Ashley Longshore's signature art designs. Looks really, really cool. I'm getting major Shiramura vibes with this. Yeah. Because Shiramura often take a designer or an artist and they bring out new products, but they also repackage some old favorites for a year with that design. And this sort of gives me the same vibes. This would have been fantastic if they brought out new shades, because I understand that they're taking fan favorites, which is great, but these things, people don't use them up. So I would, if you're a fan of this formula, like, these designs are really cool. And I'd want them, but I'd also not buy them if I had double ups. Yeah. So anyway, the shades that they have sort of revamped temporarily is Loyalist, Dreamer, Pioneer, Believer, Visionary, and Artist. So they're now available at Boots UK and available for pre-order on Amazon, and they're launching globally in September.
Excellent. All right, Melt Cosmetics. We have a new set of nude liquid lipsticks. These are called the Undertone Nudes.
Nudes.
N-O-O-D-S. So these are inspired by the distinct undertones of foundation, a range of liquid set lipsticks in warm, neutral, cool, and olive shades. So we've got Ebony, which is a robust, deep espresso with a cool undertone. Ginger is a rusty red brown with a warm, neutral undertone. We have Fawn, which is an almond with a cool undertone. Chestnut is a sable brown with a golden undertone. And Golden is a beige with an olive yellow undertone. These are all launching very, very soon. Depending on when you're watching this, they're meant to be coming out on the 9th of August in the US, which will be tomorrow. For us, when the video is going up at 12 p.m. PST, they'll be $19 US each. You can buy all of them for $65 in the PR box set.
Yeah, I think this sort of the way they've done this is really cool. So taking different foundation and skin tone undertones and turning them into lip colors, I think is really unique. And I think the colors they've come up with are very unique.
I agree.
The greige is beautiful. The mustardy color, which is that golden olive tone one, is beautiful. The chestnut color is beautiful. The red's beautiful. The dark color's beautiful. My only issue with these colors, and I want to try them because they look so beautiful and unique. Often they look great in these images, and then you actually try them and you go, oh, that makes my teeth look blue, or that makes my teeth look yellow.
You need Photoshop in real life to actually pull them off.
Yeah, because they are so jarring to your skin. Like, you might find one that really matches your skin and you can wear it no problem.
Yeah.
But if you tried each shade, since they are based on undertones of skin, they will throw off your colouring really badly.
Yeah.
And they sound good in theory, but then you have them in a drawer and you're like, I really want to wear that mustard colour, but it makes my teeth look like corn.
Like a weirdo. Yeah. Look, I really like the shades. I think they're beautiful, and I think, like, they've paired them with the models appropriately.
Yeah. And like the colours on the deeper skin tone one,
I know.
God, she looks gorgeous.
I know. She's just beautiful. Like, they all work with her colouring.
Yeah.
But good God. I know that I put them on and I'll be like, oh, today I'm a corpse.
That's what my concern.
Oh, look! I am a piece of corn.
Yep.
It's not just my teeth today. It's the
My
whole
lips as
thing.
well. Yeah. So I think it's a cool idea, and I saw them straight away and I was like, oh, I want these.
They're fun.
But then I was just like, I'll never use them.
I think the price is quite good, $65 for the whole set. Like, I don't see an issue with it. So I think if you wanted to have a play with them and you've got the disposable income, you might find one in there that is literally your most perfect unique shade of liquid lipstick.
But it would
not gonna lie, I'm fucking tempted.
Yeah, I'm tempted as well, but oh well.
Yeah.
All right, Milk Makeup. They have added to their Flex range. So a little while ago they brought out Flex concealers, and now they're bringing out foundation sticks as well as highlighters. The Flex foundation stick comes in 36 shades. It's supposed to be buildable medium coverage. It's supposed to calm the skin. So it's got Blue Lotus to hydrate and Chamomile to calm redness and soothe skin, which is good. I've got redness and irritated skin. And it's supposed to flex. So it's supposed to seamlessly become one with your skin without caking or creasing, which sounds interesting. It's supposed to have tiny blendable spheres and elastic marshmallow root extract to really help, like, move with your skin. Which often means it transfers. I'm just putting it out there. When things set and they set down firm, it means that they don't budge throughout the day, and you can touch your face and
they probably won't migrate into your lines. But when things flex, when they're flexible, when they move with you, that means every time you smile,
it flexes.
But it's like, we're going in here. This is where the party is at.
Yeah, I remember also, like, earlier this year I went to a funeral and I wore a foundation that okay, you probably didn't claim to flex, but I'm sure that's one of the, like, it was supposed to be like flex.
Yeah.
And it flex, like, as you give people hugs and they're wearing black, and then you leave just these little
That
foundation
is the
marks.
worst, and you're just like, no,
I haven't seen you in 10 years. I'm really sorry.
I really hope that's a Kmart suit.
Yeah. So that's a problem with flexing, and that's a reason why you have like these firm, budge-proof foundations. So they don't move throughout the day.
Yeah.
Anyway, they also have released Flex highlighters. So these are, you can see them, they're like pan highlighters. They look like normal highlighters. So they're supposed to have a silky formula that hydrates the skin with hyaluronic acid-filled spheres. Crushed gemstones and a weightless pearlescent base combine for flex on the glow. Flex on the glow. I can't even fucking say that stuff.
It's because it's bullshit. And your mouth's just like, no.
Yeah, my brain's like, does not compute. So it's also supposed to calm and flex with the same sort of ingredients. I don't know how many shades that comes in just yet.
No, it actually doesn't say.
It doesn't say, but it looks like it might be 4.
Yeah, I think that
from
that
this
might
photo, it looks like it might be 4.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's all available on Milk Makeup and Sephora on the 6th of August, so it's going up. It's already gone up. In-store in Sephora, 9th of August, and on Cult Beauty, 22nd of August.
Excellent. We have something coming from Morphe and Jeffree Star.
Yeah, so it's round 2. And this is
I
actually...
wonder if it'll be back to the drawing board on those
brushes.
Crappy brushes.
Look,
Soz, but we saw some photos, they looked pretty fucked.
Yeah, and they also looked like you could just buy them on like AliExpress or eBay. But I do want to say that this, while we're stumbling through our words, there should be screenshots on the screen because he's actually announcing this on his channel tomorrow.
Right.
So, yeah, we're screwed right now, but we'll update you next week. But he did say on his Instagram stories that it sounds like it's going to be more brushes, but also something else.
Okay.
So not just brushes this time around.
Right. But since we are future Kat and Hayley...
You'll see things on the screen.
Past Kat and Hayley. And it always confuses me.
We're past.
Yeah, we're in the past. We're not seeing what's currently
we don't know
available.
If you're listening on the podcast and you can't actually see what's on the screen now, do check out our Instagram account at Beauty News Official because we'll have photos and info there.
We have a new collection from NARS. This is the Make Up Your Mind collection. It's ultra exclusive in the US at the moment and it's available now. So we have the Make Up Your Mind face palette. This consists of 3 blushes, a bronzer and 8 eyeshadows. These are all existing shades in the range.
And surprise, surprise, we have Orgasm
yes,
and Laguna.
Of course. Yes. The other 2 blushes are Luster and Dolce Vita. So it's a $49 palette. Then we have eyeshadows. There's 8 eyeshadows. You've got beiges, rose, copper, purple, chocolates, brown. Then we have the Make Up Your Mind mini lipstick duos. This comes in 2 shade variants. They're $20 each. You've got a warm nude set which contains Tonka and Band Red, and a cool nude set which contains Love and Lips and Catfight. And then we have the Minzy. That's, yeah, I don't know what that is, but we have the Minzy bronzing duo, $20. It contains a mini Laguna powder and a South Beach multiple stick.
Awesome. Okay, we have a new collection from Ofra. This is the Area 51 collection.
Yep.
Is that real?
Yep.
Is that just really good timing?
They're cashing in on it. They've done it on purpose. I reckon they had this.
They're like, we need some meme to go viral.
I think it's all existing stuff.
No, I think they're new.
Okay.
I do think they're new, but
they've just changed.
But the name of the collection, I reckon they've changed.
Fuck it, we're calling it Area 51.
I reckon they're going to call it like the Alien something collection.
Probably.
And they've now changed it. They're like, we need to get those searches. Look up the meme if you don't understand it. Yeah. So they've got the highlighter in Neptune, which is an icy lavender, $35, and the Area 51 lip set. Now I'm curious to see if the pack actually says Area 51 on it, because if it is, like, I don't know, the internet and the makeup community have just combined perfectly. Yeah. But I think what makes...
Look, I think, can I just say, I don't think this was ever meant to have a single thing to do with Aliens or Area 51.
No.
Based off the shade names.
I agree.
Emerald City and Wonderland gave me a vibe that it was meant to be a little bit
fantasy.
Whimsical.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And also based off the colours.
Yeah, there's no alien colour.
We're just doing a little bit of...
Yes. And look, if they're... Look, props to you.
Go, do it.
Similar to how KKW Beauty brought out matte, boring eyeshadows, but the marketing company changed it to something more interesting.
Yeah.
Like, if you can do it, do it. But I think with this, I feel like the sort of whimsical... You're right. The sort of whimsical liquid lipsticks that are here, I think they're supposed to be interesting because they're sort of colour shifting.
Yeah.
They're interesting colours, and they sort of, like, the Emerald City is like a brown that shifts, like, green.
Gold, yeah.
So, yeah, I can see what they're trying to do. I just want to see if the pack actually has the name on it. So we can't actually see the packaging of the lip set to see if it actually is called the Area 51 lip set or if you just buy it and then you get 3 lip products.
Yeah.
But they really do ham up the green element of that Emerald City one.
Yeah.
In the marketing images, it looks grass green.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's like brown with a green shift. It's very strange.
Yeah. From Sigma Beauty, we have a new eyeshadow palette. So this is called the Enchanted Eyeshadow Palette.
No, it's Area 51 eyeshadow palette. Get it right.
It is. Whimsical.
Whimsical. Put stickers over it. So this palette's releasing on the 13th of August. And it's 14 shades. Mm-hmm. $49 US.
We've got mattes and really sparkly spajarkles.
Spajarkles. Yes, they're very spajarkly, and it's very cool toned.
Yeah.
So more greys and cool toned browns and mauvey colours.
Love the mauve.
Yeah. So and you can see some of them are like the spajarkles duochrome. So they might have once again that sort of browny purple base, and they have more of a green blue shift to it. So
I don't hate it.
But once again, photos.
I don't need it.
Trend Mood took photos and had the exclusive first release of it, and it looks very, very cool toned. Then you look at it on the website.
It looks like a different palette.
It looks like a completely different palette.
I know, it's hard. It's hard to even know what it looks like.
You're confusing me, Enchanted. All right, Sleek have also extended their Life Proof range. So this is where they've had concealers and I think foundations as well in this range, and they've just added a mattifying fixing mist, so it's £6.99, and an illuminating fixing mist, $6.99. So the illuminating fixing mist just has like very micro spajarkles, gold spajarkles in it. Looks like my hair shine spray.
Yes.
Looks like you can often get these.
Yeah.
So hopefully it doesn't contain so much alcohol. They've also got Life Proof colour correctors. So these are 4 shades, $7.99 each.
So there's like a sort of peachy salmon shade. There's a green, a yellow, and then a deeper, more orangey shade.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be a deep peach.
Yeah.
So they've got the peach colour corrector, and then they've got like the deeper peach for deeper skin tones. Then they've got 5 shades of flash foil eye paints. So these are £6.99. And once again, you have like a yellow light gold, a silver, a rose gold, a bronze, and I think it's more of a taupey colour.
It still looks like a rose gold. Like I checked, because I was like, well, we've got the same image twice. Yeah. In the tube, they look similar, but out of the tube, they don't.
Yeah, one looks more pink and one looks more
taupey.
Yeah. And they look like they're quite budge-proof from a video that I saw.
From Too Faced, get fucked.
Another holiday collection.
It is another holiday. Fresh from the oven on September 22nd. Run as fast as you can to meet the hottest new gingerbread man set in town. Oh my god, it's a gingerbread bronzer and lipstick set, and I swear to god, if they're selling it, that is a gingerbread bag. It's a gingerbread bag, and it is so tacky and disgusting, and I need it.
Yeah, that's the problem with it. It gets so tacky that you kind of go, that has transcended the tackiness and it's actually kind of cute. But it won't be for everyone. But it looks like they have this little mini set which has a gingerbread coloured lipstick with like different packaging design. This is the same lipsticks they have in the Sweet Peach range.
Yes.
But this is like the gingerbread version. Probably will smell, I guess, like gingerbread. They also have their like chocolate Soleil bronzer, but a gingerbread version. It's got the little gingerbread man pressed onto the pan. It would have limited edition packaging. It'll probably smell like gingerbread.
Yep.
And they have the makeup bag. So
the tack is
real and I kind of want it.
I know, right? Okay, this is the last thing we have, I think.
Yes,
it is. So this is the Viseart Neutral Mattes 2 palette. So this is going to be out when you are watching this. It launched on the 5th of August. And it is available exclusively at Muse Beauty Pro. Okay, so there's 12 shades in the palette. It's warm with a pop of cool and colour. Is that
It's weird
fair?
though, but they're calling it a neutral mattes too. And yes, okay, granted, it's matte.
Yeah.
But there's only a few neutral shades.
And I feel like it's quite warm.
It's quite warm.
And then the coolest shades that are in there are probably the darkest shades and the pink and the blue.
Yeah, it's weird. So there's that. I
don't hate it. I think it's very brown and wearable.
I agree. Do you know what, actually? I was trying to look the other day because I'm trying to find like my perfect brown eyeshadow palette. And I was like, oh, hopefully Viseart, like I like their formula. They'll do browns well. Because someone told me the Natasha Denona Bieber palette was really good, but that was limited edition. And you can still buy it off the Natasha Denona website. But I'm like, it's so expensive.
Yeah,
but I was like, expensive. I might look at Viseart and see if I'm going to spend money. Because also that palette was mainly mattes, and I wanted like a nice balance between mattes and shimmers. And I was like, I wonder if Viseart has it. And I was looking at palettes this size. It's either all mattes or all fucking shimmers. There's no half-half. Yeah. The half-half are like tiny travel ones that are this big. Yeah. I'm like, bitch, give me 6 mattes, 6 shimmers in basic browns, cool and warm. Yeah. And I will buy it.
I want some spajarkle and the matte.
Yeah, I want spajarkle and matte. So for me, this doesn't quite cut it, but I do think it's a pretty standard palette. Like it's pretty wearable, pretty stock standard.
It's a little bit boring, but I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Because that means I don't have to think about it.
See, I don't want the pink.
I don't want
the blue.
I don't want pink. I don't want blue. I don't want to cough up a lung. Just give me more brown.
And spajarkles.
Spajarkle and brown. Yeah. I think that's fair. That's it.
Surprise,
for the booty news.
Yes.
Booty nudes.
And sorry for our little outburst at the start. Yes. We've had a week.
But we also don't want to let people treat us like shit.
Yeah.
When it's unwarranted.
But I also want to clarify where we're coming from, because if people genuinely think we're trying to hurt people or make a stand in a really negative way, I want to correct that. But I do have to admit that this is probably, for the longest time, it's been the episode where I'm like, I actually don't want to film it.
Yeah.
Like, this is the last thing I want to do. I've been lying in bed at night being like, I don't want to film this.
I don't want to talk about it.
I actually don't want to film this. And we really enjoy, even though sometimes, like last week, we were pretty sassy and we were like probably hating on a lot of things. And sometimes you get in the mood where you're like, this is all shit, I don't need any of it.
I hate everything.
I hate it all. And I think we were in one of those moods last week. And I think we're in a slightly better mood this week. But still, I was like, this is the first time in the longest time where I'm like, if I could just give up beauty news and be like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, you would.
I would, because I'm like, I don't know why just talking about makeup we have to be like attacked.
So fucking careful, politically correct. And
we're not trying to make makeup political.
No, it's
supposed to be fun.
It's makeup and aliens.
Yes.
Like, what you upset about?
Aliens. But do we know what our emoji's going to be?
Yes. We do, but first we need to dedicate the episode to a Beauty News VIP.
Yes.
So this week's Beauty News VIP is Kayla.
Yes.
Thank you, Kayla.
Thank you, Kayla.
For supporting Beauty News. And thank you to everyone who supports Beauty News in whichever way you choose to do it. Don't forget, the emoji is aliens.
Hopefully alien energy gets you well.
I know. Please fix me. All right, guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Beauty News.
We'll see you in the next one.
That's correct. Bye.